What's good, y'all? Welcome to my summer 2024 edition of my study abroad trip to the Czech Republic. Got all the study abroad students behind me, and we're extremely excited to get started. So we had to take two flights. The first flight was from Hartsfield-Jackson Airport to Istanbul, Turkey. And then we went from Istanbul, Turkey to Prague, Czech Republic. And I have to say, the view from the airplane was extremely beautiful. I had a window seat, so I was real happy with that. I honestly wish we were able to stay in Istanbul longer because the food on the Turkish airline flight was probably some of the best airplane food I've ever had in my life. This green pasta is extremely good. I know it may look a little bit weird, especially for Americans, but this is really good. When we arrived in Prague, we had to take a 5-hour car ride from Prague Airport to where we were supposed to be staying in Olomouc, Czech Republic, which again was 5 hours away. And we also took a pit stop at a gas station, which by the way had very good food, unlike some of the gas stations that you see like Shell or whatever in America. I mean, they had anything, whether it would be sandwiches, candy, or liquor. They had the whole 9 yards. So once we arrived, it was fairly late. So the only thing we did was check into our dorms and went upstairs to go to sleep. And guys, when I tell you this trip was like a movie, I mean, there was something planned for us every single hour of every day. I mean, our professors right here, they were amazing at showing us around Olomouc and Czech Republic as they have had a lot of experience over in this region of Central Europe. So I know that I am, and we were very appreciative of the things they were able to show us. And from this view right here is in front of the dorm that we stayed in was a great view of the Cathedral of Saint Wenceslas. As I will be able to show a closer look a little bit later in the video, the cathedral was located almost directly in the center of Olomouc. A little bit more information about Olomouc. Olomouc is a small city that is located in the eastern region of the Czech Republic. And much like Valdosta, it is a city that is composed of a lot of college students, in which we were able to attend the university called Palacky University for about a month. But here is just footage of us touring with our professors around the city, including the mall and the center square of the city. They have a lot of monuments and historical figures for everybody to be able to see on display. Later on during the day, we were able to climb to the very top of a church building, and it gave us a spectacular view of the city, one of the higher points of Olomouc. However, getting up there proved to be quite the feat. And before anybody starts judging, I want to see one of you try to climb up a narrow flight of stairs as the one we had to climb up for about 15 to 20 minutes. But seriously, it was genuinely all worth it at the end. The view was amazing. It was just breathtaking. Even though I don't have footage of us going all the way up the stairs, I do have footage of us going all the way down the stairs. And eventually we finally made it down the stairs. We were all very happy to get down there in one piece. But as you know, for us VSU students, the adventure never stops. And promptly after climbing up those long flight of stairs, we went straight to the Cathedral of Saint Wenceslas. And one thing that's funny enough about the Czechs is that they are generally not very religious people at all. So to look around and see so many beautiful cathedrals and buildings and all of the things that we're seeing in this video right now is quite impressive. And let's just not take away from the inside of the building at all. The inside was almost just as beautiful as the outside. The marble tiles, the columns, the ceilings, the paintings, the gold, everything. The stained glass was just absolutely breathtaking. And if you look closely, you can see on the columns the 7 angels and lampstands, which is symbolizing the revelation times from the Bible. Aside from that, from this angle, you can see truly how big this building is compared to my body. Afterwards, we went to a nice cafe and I got a pastry that I tore up and also got some water with no gas, Neperliva. Soon after, and I mean real soon after, we went to a bar that served traditional Czech food, and I had duck meat with bread dumplings with a side of beer, which is a big part of their culture. Then following after that, we went to another bar with our Czech friends and got really drunk. Now, on the next day, we had a very full day where we actually traveled outside of Olomouc, where we met all of the faculty and students outside of the dorm that we were staying in. In a few minutes, we will be off to the Buzov Castle in the Olomouc region, just outside of the city. And as you can see by the drive and the scenery, that this castle is quite literally located in the middle of nowhere. But when you arrive, there is a village that you stumble upon before you get to the actual castle. Then there would be a long passage, as you see right now, to the entrance of the castle. And then all of a sudden, this huge castle looms over everyone's head, and it's just a spectacular view. It's hard to believe that this castle was actually built in the 13th century. However, this fact becomes more believable when you see the doors, because the doors, as you can see, are very small and dwarf-like because the people in those times were a lot shorter. But anyway, this is a neo-Gothic style type of castle that was influenced by the Order of the German Knights from their time. Unfortunately, I don't have any more clips, but I can say that overall this experience was just amazing. When we left there, we drove to the Baroque Castle. However, there was a bit of a pit stop we had to take because of some car trouble. So as you can see, we're having to walk through some type of brush in order to walk to a restaurant to grab something to eat. Although this was an unfortunate circumstance, this mishap actually turned out to be somewhat fruitful. This is because we walked past a very nice pasta and pizza restaurant on the side of the road, and I must say that my meal was very good. And by the time we finished our meal, the car was ready for us to go to the Baroque Castle, which was, by the way, an incredible display of architecture. Once we were inside, we were actually instructed to take off our shoes and put on the slippers that they had prepared for us upstairs. But this just goes to show how much care and dedication that they put into maintaining their building. And the work of art inside was just incredible. This great hall that we were in was actually the only room inside of the castle that we were able to record in. So unfortunately, I don't have any more clips of everything else inside the castle, but I can tell you that it was spectacular. Outside of the vicinity of the castle, there was a zoo that we went to, and we saw an unusual amount of peacocks outside. And afterwards, the last thing we did was return to Olomouc, venture off to find something to eat, and stumbled upon a sushi restaurant. Overall, I rate this entire experience a 10 out of 10. I just want to thank God for blessing me with the opportunity to be able to travel to a different country. I had an amazing time, and I hope to do it again sometime soon. And I want to thank everyone who's tuning in, and I pray that this video had an impact. Thank you, and see you next time.